Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to another fine episode of Hallyujuku. Here once again, I am Petey Rave. With me, as always, is my buddy Brandon Cooper, a.k.a. King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
Weirdly well.
I thought the internet paused on me. And in a moment, I was like, what? Did our hangout crash in the middle of recording? Yeah. But no, you just froze.
No, we're good.
We are gathered once again to talk more East Asian pop culture. And as we always do, we start off with asking each other what music has caught our attention this week. Kaz, what have you been listening to this week?
I've been listening to just like a lot of music on repeat. Using my Pandora playlist of music from there. But what I decided to add, because I listened to it and thought it was actually pretty good, was some music from the YG group Winner. With their first song, Coloring. Both of these songs, actually, I think were released earlier this week.
Yes.
In the month of August, or earlier in the week. There are two songs from Winner. The first one, like I said, being Color Ring, and both songs to me are really good. Color Ring, I think, is the one that's a little more sadder, a little more soulful. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. It's a little more sad. It's a little more soulful. So it's a better show off of vocalization and things like that. But I was surprised by how this song was worked together on it. So I'm surprised by it. And because of that, I decided to check out the other Winner song, Empty. Both of these songs weirdly were released on the 11th. There was no kind of staggering release for these.
Just straight up dropped a bomb.
Empty is... Yeah, it's just straight up drop. Empty, the second song from Winner. I don't know. I'm just surprisingly... I don't know why I'm so surprised, but for some reason, I am legitimately surprised by how good both of these songs were. I'm surprised how well it seems these boys can, and how good their voices seem to work together on both tracks. So, good on you, YG, I guess. I'm also rather surprised by the non-staggered release too of these songs and dropping them both on the same day, but I guess it's been such a whirlwind with them that they just want to get them out there as best that they can, is what my thoughts would be on that situation. I don't really know, I can't really speak to that, but my ideals being most likely they just want to get them out there and start impressing people with what's going on.
Yeah, and would you say, and would you say are you surprised that they didn't go with more of a high tempo song, especially with the kind of the they also have that hip hop influence, and I know that they do some more dancing, more high tempo songs. Were you surprised they went with ballads rather than like, eye catching up, tempo, high energy songs?
Yeah, but I think they're kind of trying to set a pace, and they're kind of. I generally think the people at YG are smart, no matter what we tend to say about them. I think when it comes to the things musically, I think when it comes to the things that they do musically, they tend to be rather smart. And I feel like there is a bigger ideal that we're not seeing just yet. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to hearing more from Winner and seeing more from Winner, actually. After all that we've heard about them. My last song will be familiar to anyone who is fond of East Asian pop culture, East Asian singers, video games, or anime. Any of those things, you'll know this name. Yuti Dada, On and on. One of my favorite songs anytime I'm generally playing games, or it's one that pops up in that rotation, like I said, coming from my Pandora playlist. It's just such a fun, great, upbeat song. And I really, really like this song a lot.
Yeah. Utada Hikaru is kind of one of those names you see everywhere, especially on OSTs and stuff like that. Yeah, undeniable. Yeah, it's a really fun song. Coming off her album, this is the one.
Pretty much for this, like I'd been playing video games and I got a string of UT Dada and Boa. So
Boa
it was just like I've done so much Boa on the show. I've done so much UT Dada as well, but I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna give a little bit more love to UT Dada. Like, I just freaking love her voice. I love everything about her. She's such a great singer, such a great icon. Like Petey said in original soundtracks and things like that. That like it's always fun hearing her songs. Same thing for Boa as well. Like anytime I hear a Boa song, it's just instant fun.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. Yeah, that was some fun songs. All right, so for my stuff, some of the things that I caught my attention, quite a few things. Ladies Code came back with a new track called Kiss Kiss. And
you know what's funny? Before you even sent me the doc, and I was looking for things, and before I got to Winner, I came across both of these songs that you had. Oh, Petey's probably gonna do them, so I just skipped over them.
Yes. Ladies Code, Kiss Kiss. It's a fun upbeat song. It basically it's a Ladies Code song. It's very reminiscent of Pretty Pretty, both in the kind of the style of the video and the style of the song. So it's not groundbreaking and it's not a whole lot new, but it's really fun, and I can't help but kind of play this in my phone, playing on my headphones on my bus ride to work to kind of get myself ready for the day, and it's just a fun song, catchy, and I have to say the fact that people have kind of criticized this song a little bit for being the same as every other song that they do, but I kind of like that Ladies Code have defined this like peppy, this specific sound of this peppy, disco-y, catchy songs, perky music videos, style. And I like that they've defined this little style. And I like this song. It's a fun song. I don't know. Did you get a good impression of this song?
I listened to it the first time and I didn't really get a real beat on it. Then I kind of went back to it after I had already picked the songs that I was gonna do for the show today, and listened to it again. And I was like, you know what? I actually like fun. I think it's kind of cute and quirky. And like you said, it's Ladies Code. It's their style. It's what you know from them. And yeah, you can harp on them for being like, oh, you always do the same thing. But sometimes for certain groups, like if you probably heard something different from them, and I'm saying like for the people who say that, you probably wouldn't like it, know?
Yeah.
So sometimes for certain groups, the thing that they do the best is the thing that they do the best, and you have to give that to them. And like I said, when I came back to it the second time around, I actually enjoyed it, and I had a lot more fun with it. And I generally probably will say more like, oh, I didn't really care for this. Was probably on their first listen of it. And then sometimes you can't really judge something on your first listen of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun Ladies Code. I think they're a really fun group, and I'm glad they continued their funness and all. But yeah, that was a fun track. Go ahead and check it out. Another track that caught my attention was some new stuff from Secret, if you will. Their new track, I'm in Love, which very much, like has been said before by some experts, very much going back to some of the stuff and some of the sound that put Secret on the map to say. Back to their Magic and Madonna days. With "I'm in Love," very cool, powerful,
Mhm.
sexy song. Very cool style to it. Nothing too out there, complex. Nothing that you don't necessarily see elsewhere, but just executed really well. And executed in a way that really Secret exceptionally does exceptionally well. And has done well for quite a few years now. I don't know. What do you think, Cass?
Uh, I I like it, but it's a song that I like. Oh, okay, it's a Secret song. I like it. It's not a song that like I'm so excited for. Like it's not something I'm gonna run out
Yeah.
and make sure is in my playlist. But it's a song that I was like, oh, okay, I like this. I like Secret. It did remind me of one thing that I am kind of starting to get over is the way that they do rap breakdowns
Yeah.
in K-pop songs now, which is like to change up the beat, which
Yeah.
is so kind of to me a little bit like it's starting to get to that point of like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
it can be a little jarring. I mean, I understand the change of paces they do, but the little rate breakdown can be a little jarring. And I think overall, I'm not sure if in the long run it's going to be something that's in my rotation either. But I think on the whole, it's done really well. And I do dig me some Sunhwa. Ever since Invisible Youth, she's really cool. And Hyosung is mighty fine in, in this video. She just like she always is. All right. But yeah, that's Secret. Moving on to some. I think going across the straits, hopping over to the other half of our East Asian pop culture world,
Mm-hmm.
to Japan. More quality stuff from Fem. Another quality party track from Fem. If y'all don't know, it's Far East Mentioned Mannequin, a group that basically gets English lyric songs from hit makers from around the world and performs it as mannequins and has been putting together a quick string of several videos lately, coming from Fuck Boys Get Money, Party All Night, couple of the songs,
Wanna
and
be
now the Wannabe. Yeah, they've been kind of putting them back to back to back, and this is the latest one with Dead Wrong, and it's a pretty strong track, pretty killer track. I don't know. Did
yeah.
you get a chance to check this out?
The more and more I hear from them since we kind of for us since we first discovered them, and I don't want to discover them and put them on the map, social media bullshit. No, like when me and Petey found out, the more and more I hear from them, the fucking more amazing it gets, man. Like I fucking love this thing. I don't know. I love it, man. It's so much fun. And there are some songs that I'm not super fond of, but overall, I really like Fam.
Yeah, like they have some really cool tracks, and the way they do the videos is simple but really effective, and just the songs they slay. They slay. And there's not much you can say about them. Fantastic party tracks. Put them on your party playlist. They will kill. They'll put everybody on the dance floor.
Yes.
The last thing that caught my attention, if you hear the fact that E-Girls is going to be brought up, you would think that if E-Girls was going to be brought up in this show, it would have already been brought up before it got to me. But I'm the one bringing it up, and you shouldn't be prejudiced because you don't know Kaz's musical style. You don't know Kaz. Don't judge. Don't assume.
I was
But
an AKB fan, so like other
exactly.
groups weren't ever really on the map for me because like it was one of those things. I will make it right. I will bring up other pop groups. I promise.
All right.
I'm
And
working on
E-Girls, they released a song, a video for a song called Odoru Ponpo Korin,
it. Yeah,
which on the actual video, if you check out the actual video, it's a pretty standard, J-pop track, really well done, but it's kind of doesn't really need to be much. It isn't much and doesn't really need to be much because it's mostly just a theme for an anime. So it kind of does its purpose of being a J-pop track. But what really caught my attention was the dance intro / dance version that they had for
yeah.
this music video, and it's basically all the girls from E-Girls doing just a dance breakdown and in their uniforms. A nice medley of styles with this backing track, smiles on all their faces, complete mix of dance styles and music styles, really showcasing their abilities and their skills, and also showcasing that Boy London really has taken over all of Asia's fashion culture.
Yeah.
Because seriously, I need to ask some of my fashion friends if Boy London is a thing outside of Asia, especially considering it's not even from Asia. Like how did Boy London end up being a thing? But anyways, it just was like a really cool, like out of nowhere onslaught of dancing. What was your impression of this little dance sequence as they get ratchet there?
The like you said, the song is kind of standard J-pop girl group fare, really fluffy, really light, and poppy. But the dance video was really fun and interesting, and it's something that got me into J-pop in the first place. Is like kind of dance videos coming from different dance girl groups, which I guess I'll talk about on another show. I'll go deeper into that, and I just kind of it just brought me back to like originally getting into that stuff and watching dance videos from groups and just girl groups that are meant to be nothing but dance groups that are a thing in Japan or were. It was bigger kind of back in the day, but this is just fun and it was really creative, I thought.
Yeah, really fun, really creative. I think really well done. And I love the little part where they just get like ratchet, Yeah, I love it. And it's just really cool energy, and the video is cool, and the song is, if you like the J-pop, you'll like the actual song, but and also love the modified Kid Play dance in there, and it's all really well done.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be interested in seeing if E-Girls do more of this, and I will keep my eye on it for that. But that is it for what we've been listening to. That's what we've been caught our attention musically. We're gonna get over to our headlines now. Talk about more stuff. All right, so let's head over there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the headline segment where we talk about topical topics in the world of East Asian pop culture. Some of the headlines, some of the happenings and goings on. We had a couple of weeks of happenings, yet not a lot of things happened. But hey, there's some things to discuss. First things first. Kind of a follow through on a big discussion we had on our last episode. One of the groups that I've been rooting for a little while, one of the groups that is one of those underrated, really good groups out there that definitely has a lot of international K-pop fans' attentions. Spica finally released their English language, I guess, American debut track. They put it out on iTunes and put it on a music video for I Did It. It's kind of a really interesting track. All in English, very interesting video. it's kind of a cool like little 90s throwback sound. It's kind of standard girl power lyrics about partying, and Kaz, I have to say, I like it.
Well,
I like
Petey,
it. I'm gonna have to ask you, am I crazy? Well, no, I know I'm crazy, but is this further proof that I'm crazy?
and we talked about this and we had our thoughts, and all I can really say is I enjoyed it as well. We were both really kind of prepared to like this in the first place. We just didn't know how it was necessarily going to go over. But from what I can say, musically, it's done really well. Their English is YG levels of goddamn good. And I was really surprised. And I don't know all the members of Spica that well, but fuck, the blonde-haired girl,
Boa, yeah, Boa.
God damn, her voice. I fucking love her voice. Like hearing that in English and kind of the raspy tone to it that she has.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boa is pretty awesome. Because I'm going to have to say, you know how it was with you and One Cat?
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to become with me a little bit with me and Boa. She's kind of the one that's caught my attention, especially like her speaking voice is even more husky. Like, I don't know what that says about me, but she's kind of has this really cool attitude, really cool like look and style to her, and her voice is really interesting, and she does a fantastic job singing. So at the end of the day, okay, so for those asking, are Tonight and You Don't Love Me better songs than this? Yes. Are they better short cases of their vocal ability? Yes. But at the end of the day, this is a pretty solid track, pretty fun, and like I can't stop playing this on my on my ride to work. Like I said earlier in the episode, on my ride to work, I'll jam this on. I'm like, I did it, yes, I did it, I did it. Boom. Like just getting myself energized for the day, and it's just a fun track. And I think, I mean, it's not going to put them on the map in America and push them to world stardom, but it might get licensed to some movie soundtracks, and they'll play some clubs. They'll play a club or two while they're still here. And it was a perfectly good toe dip, as somebody put it in the comments, toe dip into the American audience, into the American market, while they prepare for their proper comeback in Korea. And I think at the end of the day, it wasn't too much of a risk, and I think they did just the right amount of effort. I don't know. What do you think on that regard?
On the what will this do for them in America? I think musically it's really good, and I think it's on pace with the type of stuff that's popular right now. Do I necessarily think the American audience will be like, 5 Asian girls, yeah, that's what I want to hear, just because that's kind of the pace of things. If people pay attention to it musically, and like you said, they do it in the right way, like maybe some movie soundtracks and things like that, then who knows what could happen. And I know that's a really vague thing to say, and I'm really not getting to the heat of it, but I'm coming to it from a very biased standpoint. You know what I'm saying? I am already very familiar with Spica. This only puts it in a language I can easily understand. Whereas, like, I still understand the music in Korean. I know a majority of the words. I know what I'm hearing. I know what I'm hearing musically. So there isn't really much different for me than it's Spica in English, For someone else, this is going to be a Korean pop group, making music, and it's going to be a new experience to them. So that's why I'm being really vague with it, because I can't speak to what the pace of this will be, because I'm saying, holy shit, I really like this. I like Spica in English. I already liked Spica before that. You know what I'm saying? It's not making me more of a Spica fan. It's not making me any less of a Spica fan. It just is going to the factor that I thought they did it well.
Mm-hmm. And I think we can only hope for good things. They sang well. The song is really fun and catchy, and hopefully it gets them some attention. I know that they played to a very excited, very packed Rage nightclub for Game Boy, the show that we talked about at the gay club, the gay bar. It went over well, and they did a good job. I think they did show a little bit of their inexperience at having stage presence, which they're an idol group. No idol singer has any stage presence other than CL. Nobody in the idol world has any stage presence other than CL and G-Dragon, really. They all pretty much have their routines, and they do them. And that's all they have to do, really. But I think, but overall they had a good performance, and they had a good performance at K-Con to a packed, I think it was a Staples Center, I was saying, or wherever they had K-Con. It was a packed house, and everybody that was there as soon as they came out was into it, cheering for Spica, and they played it fantastically. And
yeah, I know they did a couple of morning shows and stuff too. So
yeah, so they had some good showcases. So they're getting some ears. Probably, those things were playing to people that are already fans, but at least those kind of reactions could say, hey, these ladies are people that are appreciated and have fandoms, and wow, they really draw attention to themselves. Wow, there's somebody to keep an eye on, so they might turn some heads. We can only hope for the best. Spica, fighting. All right, so moving on to the next cool little headline. I think both Kaz and I have been off and on keeping track of the show Roommate, specifically for
a little off for me right now.
Yeah, and for me too. Really for our girl Pop Bomb. But through that show, through that show, I know that there are a couple of the people on there that I actually grew fond of. Chaniel is a cool kid. Freaking Seiho, the comedian guy, is cool. Nana, I adore. She's fun and sweet. And another person, Song Ga-yeon, professional MMA fighter, was somebody that was really cool, has a really cool personality, seems really cool, and seems to have like a very interesting personality in the sense that she is lovely, she's very pretty, and she's very much recognized, and she'll as being very pretty, but she almost doesn't care about the fact that people think she's pretty. All she cares about is being a fighter, and the fact that, hey, she can do some modeling gigs and be on variety shows and get money off of it. That's cool, but I still got to train. Are we done with this? All right, I'm gonna go train to be a fighter. I'm gonna go get my face punched. And she was asked. I know she was asked in an interview. She was worried about her face being damaged into a fight. And like, no, why am I gonna worry? I'm an MMA fighter. It's gonna happen. Like, she was so nonchalant. So she finally made her debut, her professional MMA debut, against Emi Yamamoto. And she won via KO TKO just a couple of minutes into the fight. And and I watched the fight and I was impressed. Like, she came out, like, as soon as the referee said go, she went. She was swinging.
Now, hold on. I don't want to make it sound like I'm some experienced motherfucking fighter. I've watched a lot of MMA in my life. I've trained in some martial arts, but not like enough to be good at anything. it was a good, clean fight, right? She came out. I think she knew her opponent really well. She came out. She kind of rushed her.
Yeah.
Got tied up with her. Went to the ground. The first time they go to the ground, it's a little bit sloppy. You could see like the adrenaline and not knowing what to do. But then I think she came out of that with like the calmness after, and was able to kind of go back into the fight.
Is that me or him? Him or me? Me
Huh?
or him? Oh, you went go back into fight, and then nothing.
I said she went back into the fight with that good understanding of what to do now, because that first like minute is full of nothing but adrenaline, and you can see it. She's just like so pumped to finally be doing this thing, and it's all those lights on you and all those things, and how it works out for some people. But it was one of those things. She went, and it was just crazy, like it was crazy how well she reacted to that, and probably good training on being able to know her opponent really well, most likely. And I can't wait to see what more she does. Like it's always exciting to see people get out there in the martial arts world and do these things. And
she's got a long way to go before she can go stand across the ring from the one true target that I think when you talk about women's MMA, you say everybody's pretty much gunning for one name, the double R, Ronda Rousey. But she's got a long way to go. But she's made her first step, and every journey begins with a first step. And a very successful first step, and I think that she's going to do really well. Hopefully. She's already got a history of kicking ass in other sports. She's a champion kickboxer, and I think she'll do well in this, just out of sheer determination and will. Well, fantastic. Song Ga-yeon fighting! Alright, moving on to another fun little headline. So, G-Dragon and Pharrell Williams crossed paths at the a.k.a. Real Life Now Festival 2014 and took a picture together, which means nothing really, but gives us an opportunity to ask, how awesome would a collaboration between G-Dragon and Pharrell Williams would be? How awesome would that be, Kaz? Can you imagine it?
Are we going off of a picture to talk about a collaboration?
Yes.
Okay. It's so silly, but I think that would be really cool. I think G-Dragon's style and Pharrell's production style would work really well. And I've always said this, and I've always screamed this, especially when we did our first few episodes. Go back and listen to our first few episodes. They're also terrible. Of how much I think certain producers and certain styles would fit well in the Korean hip hop scene, and how I thought will.i.am is not one of them, and having him be the namesake producer for what was supposed to be the 2NE1 premiere in America was just never going to work out. And have we heard anything from that? Fuck no. But I think someone like Pharrell, who's just one of those guys who is really musically talented, would work really well with those kind of artists, 2NE1, G-Dragon, Big Bang, and all those kind of things.
I think it's something that I would love to have happen because of his style, and even just not just him, but having both the Neptunes working with those various artists would be a fantastic collaboration. What are some other dream collaborations you have between K-pop artists and Western artists or producer?
I think A lot of it would probably be YG for me, but I think like maybe even Pharrell with Seven, or like one of those kind of solo R&B guys, would work really well. I think I'm trying to think of more like it's the producers that I'm having a hard time thinking of.
Yeah. Timbaland, maybe? I don't know.
Well, see, Timbaland and Missy Elliott have that same style, and I think Missy Elliott has kind of like shown. Well, no, she did that more on the X side. I think Timberland is another guy who would work really well with people like Seven and Rain and even Jay Park. Like guys like that, or fucking Sungrio or D-Light, kind of in that era. And like of the girl groups, I think Timbaland could do really well with that too, just because of his kind of musical stylings.
Maybe it's Timbaland and Miss A, kind of similar to his collaborations with Lake Raider,
Yeah.
Timbaland,
I mean, there are ones that could work really well, just not goddamn will.i.am.
And somebody should collaborate with Zico of Block B, because I think he has some skills that he could showcase, and some writing skills too. Which you could showcase. But yeah, those are some of those ideas. Do them, K-pop. Do them.
I think like a song written by Neo, done by like Rain or Taeyong.
Yeah, that would work really well. I think anything involving a song written by Neo, especially, I think would be killer. But yeah, do it, K-pop. Another more proof that K-pop companies should really hire us.
Oh, freaking oh god, what is the I feel so bad that I can't think of his name. The Def Jam like super producer.
Def Jam super producer. I don't know his name. I don't know off the top of my head. It'll come to us. It'll come to you. You're gonna say it randomly in the next headline. It'll be hilarious. But back to Kris's watch. Hail, holy Kris's.
Still wishing I had that jersey now.
Yeah. So Kris is stepping up his promotions and his work in China. He's already wrapping up shooting his first movie, Somewhere Only We Know, and now he's purportedly going to start work on a movie co-starring I believe Gong Yu or Juwon, one of those actors, and specifically also Hanging of Super Junior. And what's notable about that is Hanging of Super Junior was one of the other guys who sued himself out of his SM contract. And got specifically as a Chinese national who sued himself out of his SM contract. And this movie is kind of an FU to SM entertainment in a way, in kind of a hilarious way, especially for those that are part of hashtag Team Schadenfreude. And on top of that, there are rumors, mostly unsubstantiated, probably completely false rumors, that he is also working on a solo release. In further FU to SM entertainment. How fascinating is this? These machinations now that Kris, especially coming off of SM claiming that they weren't holding Kris back. He just failed auditions and couldn't get work on his own.
I think it's the spin of popularity of what's going on. So that's going to make other people want to land grab at Kris, Yeah. Two, it all goes to show what's going to happen after, right? So now we have this possible presentation from Kris of as an actor and as a solo music artist, right? What is he going to show? Because it could come out and he could be a really bad actor and he could be a really bad showcase by himself as a solo artist, or he could do exceptionally well. So it all goes to show what happens after this. These little things of saying, okay, yeah, he got placed in a movie, yeah, he's working on solo music, is only the showcase for then what happens next, right? This is the between point of saying, see, you fucked up, SM, or is going, oh shit, SM was right? This is only going to finally split that divide, and really say. Now, there's also going to be a lot of mix in that, because you're going to have the people who are Kris fans who automatically are going to appreciate and love anything Kris does, and the people overall who are just SM fans and supporters who will just be like, oh no, it's terrible no matter what. So it's going to rely on the people in the middle, like me and Petey, yes, who will tell the truth and say whether it's good or bad, whether it's happy or sad, whether fucking Rick Rubin. I just looked it up. Fuck you. So it just from there is going to say, like,
Rick Rubin and Block B. There's another collaboration. We'll throw that out.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you're saying.
Like I said, this is just a in the middle of that conversation. So the beginning of that conversation is Kris wanting to get out of XM and EXO. That's the beginning of the conversation. We are now at that midpoint in the conversation where it goes, Kris stood on his own and he got a role in a movie and he worked on solo music. And then after this comes the end of that conversation where we go, yo, Kris blew them a fucking way. That movie was banging. The music was crazy. Or we go, that motherfucker can't act and can't sing. Because now it either goes to show one or two things. He either stands on the throne like people like Jay Park. Jay Park started in 2 p.m., wanted out at 2 p.m., got out at 2 p.m., made his own label, made his own music, and fucking is a really good showcase of saying he might have been being held back in 2 p.m. So
yeah, so we're gonna have to see what happens with this. Again, it's definitely interesting him working with another SM exile, and it's gonna be interesting to kind of the machinations of SM, because I am a fan of several artists that come out of SM, but I'm not necessarily always the fan of SM the company. Especially, with some of the manipulations and the fact that to this day, JYJ, the 3 members that sued themselves out of TVXQ, don't get to promote on television, because very obviously they are, all these television companies are being held at gunpoint by SM. Though nobody will say it out loud. They pretty much are being forced by SM not to book JYJ for fear of losing SM. So they do some manipulation and some stuff that I'm not a big fan of. So seeing some of that maybe get chipped away and a little bit of a karmic retribution from somebody would be cool. But I will still judge whatever comes out impartially and right down the middle, like Bill Alfonso. Wrestling reference for you. All right, but hopefully good things come for everybody involved. That's it for the main headlines. Now we get to a little bit of a cool return of something that I premiered a little while ago. Petey's new favorite thing, if I can remember the title. Petey's new favorite thing. So, many of you are a frequent listener of Hallyujuku. You'll remember how the journey from me with You Who Came from the Stars, a.k.a. My Love from Another Star, a.k.a. a million other English titles for that. And you saw, I definitely made a point of bringing up on the show how hey, the show I'm watching this show. I really like it. It's really growing on me. I really like it. Man, I love this show. And up to like the finale, and we actually got to review it together. It's happening again with another show, and I think it's a show that I brought up to Kaz a little while ago. That got his interest because he is familiar with the lead actress. Because she was in another show that he appreciated as well, which we might have to bring up on the show as well, because I know you'll introduce me to that show as well. But it's a show called "It's Okay, That's Love." This is very much my interest in this show. Very much falls in the vein of Good Doctor, because of word of what the show's content was, and specifically was mental health and mental illness. So the premise of the show is that a psychiatrist and a famous novelist / radio DJ who has OCD meet, and actually not in a fateful way, but just kind of meet naturally. And through the course of the show, we'll fall in love, obviously, because there's a male lead and the female lead of a Korean drama, and that's just how it works. But what really has so far caught my interest in this show is how human they make mental illness in this show. How much of a human face they put on several aspects of mental illness. Because a couple of things. Of course, when the male lead suffers from obsessive compulsive disorder, and probably is also also has an imaginary friend played by one of the kids from EXO. From what you can tell, and she is a psychiatrist, but she's also dealing with her anxiety over intimacy issues because of an affair her mom had while on her dad, who is suffering from kind of I believe, I don't know exactly what the illness is. I believe it was but it is a very debilitating cerebral and physical injury. I believe it is a form of palsy in a way. But you know, the kind of the trauma of that. It also stars our boy Lee Kwang-soo of Running Man, playing a character called Soo Kwang. Playing the Tony Danza in a way.
Okay.
You know, because Tony Danza, every character Tony Danza played was Tony. This is that character. But he plays a character with Tourette syndrome. And which it has its funny moments, but actually is represented well. It also stars the dad from the Reply series, Song Dong-il, who many will know from Reply 1997 and Reply 1994. Gong Hyo-jin, like I said, of Pasta fame, and a couple other fine actors. And I think it's a drama to look out for. It's a drama that I think we're gonna bring up again, and might be for my turn when I have a chance to bring up a drama. Did you get a chance to check out some of this drama? Did you, or how was your impression of it?
I have not checked it out yet. I have had it in my queue on Drama Fever, but I had a feverish pace of having to watch a bunch of anime for Otakon because that was coming out. Yeah. Which is why we also haven't finished freaking
Air City.
Air City. I wanted to call it Airport. Which is why we haven't finished Air City, which we'll probably finish up next week. And then, like Petey said, we'll probably move on to this show most likely. And then probably things most of these actors have been in previously. Because, like I said, the lead actress in the show Pasta is where I fell in love with her. She's such a good actress. She's really good at the things that we do, and this is one of those shows that are filled with people that we have seen in other things, and things that we have loved. So I'm pretty sure at least on one thing, I will love the acting in it because it's filled with Korean actors that I kind of know do a good jobs in the roles that they're given. It will totally be in the story to keep me involved because I know the people who are in it definitely is what's going to pull me towards the series. And it's an SBS series, and I tend to love SBS series. I think a lot of the ones I tend to do are SBS series. Not that there's very much to choose from between SBS and NBC. But like I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a series that I like, and so far with Petey speaking very highly of it, I don't see why I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting discussion that we'll have about the show. But yeah, that was Petey's new favorite thing. But yeah, that's that. Now we get into so last week we didn't have an episode, and the reason for that, the main reason for that, is we were kind of taking a hiatus for Otakon. Kaz attended Otakon over in his hometown of Baltimore, Maryland. How was it? Let's just get into it. How was Otakon this year?
I'm not going to go into a super, super detailed thing because I did that like less than an hour ago on shooting the shit with two nerdy black guys. So I will say this. It was so much fun. There were a lot of people. I got to talk to a lot of people. I got to talk to a lot of people who are K-pop fans actually this time around because always thinking about content. Which helped me understand kind of what the pace of mainly ladies, of course, because those are the biggest and most of K-pop fans out there. But there wasn't a lot of presence of a lot of Korean entertainment stuff because Otakon is really, really big on voice actors and getting all those kind of people there. So there wasn't a lot of that stuff. I didn't go to a lot of panels, so I don't know what panels happened. I don't know if there were any Korean-centric or East Asian pop culture-centric. Well, that's kind of dumb to say because it's an anime convention, which is very hardly surrounded in a form of East Asian pop culture. Caught myself. Don't write those letters. So what I will spend a majority of my time talking about is something that me and Petey kind of came up with at ASIN, which is picking up random albums from K-pop groups, either ones that we know or ones that we're not very familiar with, and kind of have a little showcase of that stuff is what I thought we would do. I thought that would be really interesting to do that. So one thing that I picked up that I want to show off is the BAP Unplugged album. This is something actually me and Petey have talked about on a previous episode. I don't know which one that is. I probably should have looked. But we talked about the boys from BAP doing a unplugged set, which in my mind, I figured it was going to be more than what it was. It is, I don't want to say lacking in content, but it's two songs, and the third being an instrumental of the first song, which I think is the song that me and Petey talked about on the previous episode when we heard about BAP, our boys, doing an unplugged album. The album itself is kind of standard fare for Korean albums, which is something else me and Petey found interesting, right? I paid, I think, $20 for this, right? Now, you think content-wise, you paid $20 for two songs, you're an idiot. But overall, what we've come to realize is that $20 went into a lot more than this CD. Right, I have a really nice book, photo album, and CD with a couple of songs on it that I can hear and listen to. And it's generally in the Korean album sets. These photo books is really the things that are really interesting. And this is one of those ones that comes with a card of one of your favorite BAP members, who I'm not sure which one that is. Sorry. So that was that. Like, and me and Petey saying we found that interesting is one of those things. So this will be something we'll review later. We'll talk about the songs, and how they are. They're really jazzy. I've already kind of took an early peek at it and listened to it a little bit. They're really jazzy and really nice. And like I said, we had some thoughts on it before, but we'll give it a really in-depth idea. And this is their fourth mini album, actually.
Yeah.
So
mini album.
I feel like it was kind of worth the set of what it was. Yes, mini album.
My photo book that I got from FX. Red Light.
Yeah, Red Light.
Fantastic photo book. And Luna card.
Which we already did. We did Red Light, right? Yeah.
Yes, we did.
So this is the other thing I got, which is still wrapped in plastic. Hello Venus's first mini album. And if I am correct, I've got to turn my monitor back on, actually. Hello Venus. Click on the link here. Hello Venus, 6-member girl group.
Yeah.
Debuted in 2012.
Yeah, it was a collaboration between Pledis Entertainment and Fantagio. So a couple of members were, I believe, from Pledis, and the rest were Fantagio. And I think at the moment, it's down to the 4 members, I believe, that were on Fantagio. At least it's down to 4 members, as the 2 decided to the collaboration was over, so it's down to 4 members. But at the time, it was a 6-member girl group named Hello Venus.
Mm-hmm. This is, as Petey said, album from when they were 6 members. I just took the plastic off of it and got my my nice card of Yuza.
Yuza?
Yuza. This, fortunately for us cats and kittens out there, comes with a photo book, as always, which I don't know why the photo books are attached. I wish they weren't. They're generally, glued in to the albums. And I wish you could take them out, because I would just love to just kind of have the photo book to kind of really, really look at. But it's full of photos. Who would have thought? Of the girls. They're really, really pretty. But, I mean, duh. You would expect that. There's a lot of individual shots of the girls in here. Really fun promo shots. Really well done, too. And it does it in a good way of kind of each girl has their own little set, and there's kind of these mood things for them, and all this little thing, because it's their first mini album, so it's introducing you to the girls. So it's really cutely set up in a way to introduce you to each individual member and kind of give you a chance to find the member that you like. There's our girl Yuza, who we have a card for out of this album. It is a 4-song mini album, which, once again, like I said, me and Petey will take our time and we'll go through it and we'll listen to it and we'll give you the details. It will most likely be me and Petey going, I like this track, that track was meh, and this thing. But
it'll still be fascinating nonetheless. The physical album kind of culture and style from K-pop is definitely something that I've noticed, we talked about repeatedly, and something that I noticed in a recent article actually kind of brought. I can't pull up the article now because I don't remember what it was, but it was a while ago that actually pointed out the difference, specifically in Korea, between digital costs and physical media costs. CD is basically, like you've seen, is just as expensive over there as it is here. Even more so with these packages, but there's a difference with that. But like a regular CD is just as expensive there as it is over here. But digital sales are much cheaper. Here we have the tradition, it's usually like $1 a track. Now on iTunes Plus is like $1.30, for the high end tracks. Streaming services are usually $10, $15 if you're Beats Music, but fuck Beats Music, nobody wants that. So it's $10 is usually the baseline. In Korea, tracks are much cheaper. They're like, I don't know the exact numbers, but you can get like an album for a couple thousand won. That's, just a couple bucks. You can subscribe to Melon's streaming service for like, I think before it was 3,000 won. I think now it's doubled to a whopping 6,000 won, $6, less than $6. So digital is much cheaper. So people don't really look to physical media as a way to listen to an album. And it really comes down to, CDs being really for the fans, for the fandom, for the true hardcore fans, and for buying your way into meet and greet. But that's a whole other story. But really about the fandom. So they really, that is really how it comes about, where they really pay attention to having a big package that the fandoms will appreciate, or, kind of having a complex, interesting package with, plenty of content to look over, pictures of the group to fawn over, a little card.
I just realized I pronounced her name wrong. It's Yuara.
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 Yeah. Yuara. Guara. Haragu. But yeah, it's the physical media side of K-pop is fascinating and really cool. I think at the end of the day, it makes for a better product for the people that want that better product. Yeah. And it's fascinating.
I mean, I really enjoy having these, and like one of the other things that I've always wanted to have and get my hands on was G-Dragon's. Which one is it? I forget which one of his albums.
One of a Kind?
But One of a Kind, yeah, because I like the way One of a Kind really looks, and kind of that, it all of these always have that book style appeal to them. Even the My Name one that I have has like that book style appeal to it, and what used to be the factor of like keeping DVDs on your shelf because they looked really nice, and having CDs, but we've so simplified the CD here in America, where it's just like the plastic thing. You open it up, it comes with a leaflet or fold out or whatever that has some good things, maybe some lyrics for each song on it, the thank yous, a picture or two, and that's it, or it's a poster and that's it. And it almost goes to like, why do I need to spend $15 on that? I'll just spend $8 and get the digital download. But like these things, buying more and more of these as we've gone through this on Hallyujuku, and like Petey, who bought the pink tape, and that really showy way that comes, where it looks like a tape. It comes in like the old style VHS like sleeve and all that, like there's so much showmanship that happens with K-pop and in J-pop as well, that like it really becomes this thing that is worth the time and money if you love the group, that you put in. So even this for a group like Hello Venus, which we're probably never going to talk about as much as we just have. I'm really appreciative to have this, because it's something that is going to go on a shelf, and I'm going to look at it and be able to see it, however I decide to display it. And that's also another thing. It's like this thing can be displayed really well. Like if I sit it front and like have it sitting kind of open or whatever, like however I decide to do it, it's a really good showcase, and it really brings back the thing of having a music collection, right? Because now everyone's music collection is on their computer. So this is one of those things. I know Petey is really proud of the pink tape. Like, he loves the showmanship of it. Yeah. I love that showmanship of it. And it's just one of those things where it's like, it's a really good, interesting showmanship of your music taste and the quality of your music taste as well.
Even like non-idol artists like Lim Kim of To The World, her solo album was you got an actual like a storybook, like this kid's storybook style book, and it was cool. It was like this cardboard cover, and it looked like a kid's book, and it was like that storybook style, and it fit with the style of the album, and we love the albums. We love the really cool CD packaging. Another cool thing. Quickly talk about. I guess it was uneventful, but talk about you when you said you were at the K-pop booth. The first thing I asked you was, do they got that Kris jersey up?
Yeah. They did not have the Kris jersey on display. They had a bunch of the other members of EXO jerseys on display. They even had the big giant tiger heads from book bags for G-Dragon, which a couple of people bought. They were $60. And I saw a couple of people buy those things, like walk up and be like, I want that tiger head backpack. So there were posters, t-shirts, all those things, the hats and the socks for all your favorite K-pop groups. But yeah, we went on a slight journey for a Kris jersey, which I ended up not getting. One, because I wanted to make sure I got albums, because albums are always a good talk point for the show. But the Kris jerseys are still out there, ladies and gentlemen. You got to snatch them up while they exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are classic. Those are classic items, man.
It's like me getting that Jose Reyes Marlins jersey, that LeBron James jersey, that Heat LeBron James jersey, that outdated feeling, that Shaquille O'Neal Heat jersey, get that old team, that old player you used to love. Dragon Con is just around the corner. I will say this. Dragon Con is, I think, a couple weeks away. I'm going to keep an eye out for a K-pop booth, because now it seems like every con has a K-pop booth now. And I'm going to see if I find the Kris jersey there. And part of the fun is also going to be the fun of asking the nice young K-pop fan, who most likely is a EXO stan, because basically every girl in K-pop now loves EXO. They're the hot, apparently the hottest.
So like in two separate occasions, like a girl that I was hanging out with in a group of friends, like we were all sitting talking or whatever and stuff like that, and she turned around like to look for something, and she had a backpack on, and I kind of like my eye darted towards her backpack because I was like, wait, what does that say on there? It says EXO on there. So I was like, oh, you're an EXO fan? And she's like, yeah. So we talked about that or whatever, and she's like, oh yeah, I do YouTube stuff and blah 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 blah. So I was like, okay, cool. So then I go to the K-pop booth, and I'm texting Petey. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pick up another album. I'm gonna do that. And then he was like, see if they got a Kris jersey. So I was like, hey, excuse me. I was like the EXO jerseys. I was like, do you have a Kris one or whatever? And she was like, oh, yeah, hold on, I think so. And she dug through and she found it. She was like, yeah, here it goes. I was like, all right, I think I might get it. And she was like, yeah. She was like, I'm a Kris fan. So I was just like, oh, another EXO invert. Like, they're everywhere, man.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. They're out there.
Poor gal. And you said that Kris was her guy. Kris was her bias. It's hard out there. It's hard out there for a Kris bias. But they now have his new form. He's no longer Holy Krisis. He's Holy Jesus. He's in a different way, a Wooyi fan. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, mark my words. Dragon Con in a couple weeks. I will go to the K-pop booth, and I will see if they got that Kris jersey. And I will report the reaction of the girl in the corner in the booth when I ask her for the Kris jersey. And it will be fun. But that's it for us here at Hallyujuku once again. We were glad to be back after like a minor little week off, but we're glad to be back.
Yeah.
Kaz, what have you got going on in the world of the internet?
I guess the main thing I want to point people to is especially the about.me right now, because I want everybody to go and check out all the photos and shit that I did at Otakon and all the pictures that I took of all the amazing cosplay. So definitely please go to about.me and either go to the Google Plus page or the Facebook page. And
With that new watermark.
Yeah, that finally putting the actual logo that was designed for me to put on things, especially photography things. So I'm actually using it like a real fucking photographer. But no, it's a prosumer hobby. It's something that if I happen to ever make money from taking photos, then I am more than happy to do it. But I am going to like go way too deep into it, like I do all of my hobbies. If you can see my desk right now, and all of the girls that are on my desk, like your hobbies take
one
over
of which
your
I saw you
life.
purchase.
Mm-hmm. There's more. I'm just not going to pick them all up because I don't want to drop them. Yeah, so it's one of those things. I really love taking pictures. I really love doing that. It's so much fun, and I'm going to do it more and more and more and more. So please go check them out. Go comment on them. Go like them or hate them or whatever you want to do. Like, I don't care. I just like communication. Communicate with me.
Yes, commune with him. About.me/Kaz. I'm about.me/Petey Rave. Same old things. If you see me at Dragon Con, say hello. Don't do it too harshly because I'm a fear biter. So watch out. But no, just say hello at Dragon Con. I'll be out there having fun, rolling in like Kris in that one gift. Like, but yeah, about.me/Petey Rave. At Peter Rave everywhere else. The show's at Hallyujuku, Hallyujuku.com. If you don't know how to spell Hallyujuku, just use kpoppodcast.com. Easy way to share it with your friends. Share the show. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, everywhere else. Like us, subscribe, share, comment, review.
I'm also just going to apologize for the next few weeks of content because I just realized, like, you're going to get Fanny Pack with me, Petey, and DJM and Drew. Record Breakers with Petey and Drew. Shooting the Shit with Two Nerdy Black Guys with me and DJM. And then Hallyujuku with me and Petey.
You're going to get a lot of us all up in your face if you can. Right. If you really want us, we're out there. You can't get rid of us.
There's a lot of melding this week of the crew,
yes.
Which we generally try to stay away from. We try to generalize, not mix too much, but it happens. We always love working with each other and doing all those things, and it's so much fun. And I think everything we've done in a couple of weeks have been pretty good. So please check it all out, like and subscribe to everything that we do because. Yeah. It's fun and it's hobby and it's the things we love and the things you love. So, yeah, fighting.
Until next time, hasta los huevos. Annyeong. I can't lift my shoulder.